Welcome to Strip Cover Lit. I'm Adrian Fort.
And I'm Dalton Gentry.
And we're here with another installment of the Harry Potter series. And Dalton, this week I've got a beef.
What's up?
This mirror of Erised.
Okay, Erised.
The mirror of desire.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's that.
What?
That mirror right over there.
This whole time I've lived here, that's what that is.
Yeah, that shows you your deepest desires.
So I look in that, and what?
You see your deepest desire.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Strip Cover Lit. I'm Adrian Fort.
And I'm Dalton Gentry.
And we are here with this week's edition of To Hell With Your Childhood.
To hell with your childhood, or as we like to call it, Adrian reads Harry Potter. This is the Sorcerer's Stone, chapters 10, 11, and 12.
Yes.
So you want to do a brief rundown for those? Okay.
Yeah.
I got this, child. You have the chapter of Halloween. Harry Potter receives the Nimbus 2000 broom from Professor McGonagall. I know you're going to have issues with that. There's a troll. And then we move on to the next chapter, Quidditch. We get our first Quidditch game. We start to think maybe there's a little bit something about Snape that we're not knowing. And then the last chapter we read is the Mirror of Erised. Erised? How do you say it?
The Mirror of Desire.
The Mirror of Desire.
Yeah, that's how I say it.
It's been a while since I've seen the movies. I don't know how they actually pronounce it. Mirror of Erised. But anyway, he discovers that. He sees his parents. Ron sees something else, and we find out that there's a little more to the mirror than we think.
Yeah.
What else do we have? We're introduced to the three-headed dog. Hagrid knows a little bit about that. The character of Nicholas Flamel is mentioned. What do you think, Adrian?
Well, first off, I'd like to start with this quote on the bottom of 202.
Okay.
But as they all knew for sure about the mysterious object, was that it was about 2 inches long, they didn't have much of a chance of guessing what it was without further clues. It was about 2 inches long. Dalton, you've got some explaining to do.
You've been looking in the mirror, haven't you?
Then I've got this quote on 205,
okay,
which I thought was really telling. This is in that 10th chapter still. A Nimbus 2000, sir, said Harry, fighting not to laugh at the look of horror on Malfoy's face. And it's really thanks to Malfoy here that I've got it, he added. Perhaps I am mistaken, perhaps I've missed something, perhaps I've forgotten something, but that is the first real example of Harry Potter mouthing off.
Yes.
So this is where Harry Potter starts to grow a little bit of his character.
Okay.
This is him stepping away from that Nick Carraway lifestyle.
Oh, that's a good thing, you think?
Yeah, I think so. Because up to this point, there had been no real reason for this story to be about him.
Okay.
He was just sort of in the background. In the same chapter, Ron is brave versus the troll, and Hermione lies to a teacher.
Yes. So people are growing.
Yeah, and for me, this was the first. Things had happened to characters before this, and things had made them respond. Especially Harry Potter had been responsive to things, but I think that this is the first chance, or the first glimmer you get of characters coming into their own.
Okay. How you feeling about Snape? I know last week we did this, you were pro Snape and you love Snape.
I like him.
Still like him?
I think that there's, and again, I have no outside knowledge of this,
yes,
right? I think there's something else going on under the surface here.
Okay.
I don't think that Snape is simply this evil character.
Okay.
I have nothing to back that up right now, except for the fact that Hagrid really trusts him.
Okay.
Another thing from that first chapter I want to mention just real quick. Hermione's really not into the good old boys club.
Nope.
And I love that.
Good.
I love that, despite the fact that both of her parents are dentists. So she's coming for money.
Yeah.
But
muggle money.
Muggle money.
Muggle money. Right. Let me plug at this point, and just a friendly reminder, Adrian is 100% serious when he says he has no outside knowledge of this.
Yeah, none.
So don't ruin this, because there's a lot of big things that I've noticed comments on. I'm like, Gah!
Yeah, and I'm trying to avoid comments in the Harry Potter section a little bit.
Good.
But you know, I want to interact when those things are there, when they set things up. But it's good to be versed on them, I think.
Okay.
But
the Invisibility Cloak. What do you think about that?
I think that the Invisibility Cloak, it's interesting because you get back to that young adult theme of voyeurism.
Yes.
So it's interesting to see. There was a couple young adult themes that I saw raise here, but I'm not picking them out right immediately. But it's interesting that these young adult tropes are making their way into this is a middle age or a children's book, right?
Children's middle age, right about, yeah.
So that is interesting to me.
Okay. So altogether, you say maybe Miss Rowling's coming together a little bit more?
Saying what?
J.K. Rowling's coming together a little bit more?
No, I don't like it still.
Okay.
I don't enjoy it. In fact, this is the last thing I read every week because I don't like it.
Okay, your Mirror of Desire. Kind of a weird plot point, kind of an obvious tool, but again, for the age group this was originally focused on, necessary.
Yeah, I don't know about necessary. I think that it's interesting.
Okay.
I think that it's definitely something. I won't say I haven't seen anything like that before. I think that it is done a lot better than I've ever seen it done before. One small little story that may or may not be interesting to anyone else. Reading Mirror of Desire or Erisad, or whatever it is, I don't know, in a children's book took me back to my childhood. When I was in kindergarten, it was the biggest mystery in the world to me how mirror was spelled.
Okay.
Because living in the Midwest, land of George Washington,
Yeah.
mirror is not pronounced mirror.
No.
It's mirror.
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 So I wondered how that sound was written.
Okay.
Because they're both E's. Mirror.
Mirror.
So I went around searching through all of my children's books and searching, and it's weird that this comes back to me in such a flash and such a flood. But I went through, I remember sitting in a kindergarten classroom and searching through all the books to try to find the word mirror. And I didn't know if I ever found it. So I remember finding the word mirror, M-E-R-E.
Okay.
And being pretty set on the fact that, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's the one right there, baby. That's mirror. But it didn't make sense in the context of the story. Because that's when you use context clues, right?
So, yes. So Harry Potter is taking you to your childhood.
There was a phrase about a mirror. He was a mirror frog.
Okay.
I think something like that. But I was like, mirror frog? That doesn't make any damn sense.
Okay.
But yeah.
You know, language and linguistics is one of my big selling points. I love things like that. But yeah, we do come from the Midwest. My grandmother used to wash her dishes in the zinc.
Right.
She went to go to Walmart to shop.
Yeah.
And it drove me insane. I'm guilty of that, though.
Yeah.
And it's horrible, especially depending on who the people I'm speaking with. Like, I will drop into a horrible southern drawl.
Really?
Especially when I'm trying to be manly.
Yeah.
At work, I sound like John Wayne.
Damn it, Dalton.
So I understand. This is wonderful. Thank you for bringing that up.
But yeah, it's interesting how when you're speaking to a subset of people, your own dialect, your own inflections change.
And it was really interesting when we began filming this channel. We're completely off topic here, but you know, hey, language, how you speak when you're on camera. Because you try to enunciate a little bit better, you try to sound a little more proper, lose the dialect a little bit, and how you speak off of camera.
Right.
And I think that's evident for even just the people you're speaking with, how you constantly change your dialect. It's very interesting how that works. Anyway, irrelevant. Dumbledore. When he looked into the Mirror of Desire, as you call it, all he saw was socks.
That was a lie.
Are you sure about that?
That was a lie.
Are you sure about that?
No, because it's very Eastern, right?
Okay.
Live without want.
I think that is our first glimpse as Dumbledore as the character he is. This is allegedly the most powerful wizard in the world, the wisest man there is. All he needs is socks. And I love the snippet that he says, nothing this year, you know. All they got me were books again.
Right.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So that's our first glimpse into Dumbledore, the character I remember. Eccentric, but still there's something more to him.
Something wiser.
Yes, not just the crazy Dumbledore who was announcing at the beginning of the ceremonies. So, still feeling good? Still trooping on?
Now, if you are going to stick up for J.K. Rowling so much, do you think that Dumbledore at the beginning was the Dumbledore that we got at the beginning in order that he would not frighten the first years. That he would be appealing, be charismatic.
Maybe, and you know, he is eccentric, that's one of his things. But it gets so much more toned down later. And you see the other side of him. And maybe that is just inherent of the atmosphere of the books when they change. Because right now it's a pretty happy time in the Harry Potter universe. Later on things get darker, and maybe he has to drop that level of comfort and show that level of concern. So maybe it's a brilliant ploy that I just didn't pick up on. He is one of my favorite characters.
Okay.
So...
Favorite characters in the Harry Potter universe or favorite characters, period?
Little both. Little of both. The sixth book, once we make it to the 6th year, Dumbledore.
Oh, I'm not sure that's happening.
That's happening. A lot of people have said we have to read this. Someone actually did the math, showing how far we could get in such a short period of time.
Lizzie at Book Babble.
Elizabeth Book Babble. We could do this, Adrian.
I don't know if I can.
And I will say 100% we have to do a riff track now.
Yeah.
We have to do a live audio commentary of the first Harry Potter movie.
That seemed to be a popular idea.
So apparently people hate themselves and they need that in their lives. So
I found the other young adult theme that stuck out to me. At Quidditch?
Yes.
At the end of the Quidditch chapter, is it Hermione and Ron and Harry Potter? Or is it just Ron and Harry Potter that are with Hagrid?
I can't remember for sure, to be honest with you.
But anyway, I think it's just... Either way, they're sitting there, and it seems that they know better than Hagrid. And that is a young adult theme. That no matter what the adult says, we still know better.
Fair enough.
Right?
Fight the man.
Right, fight the man.
Fight the man.
Another thing I noticed, Harry wandered over to the restricted section. Is this where you guys at the restricted section got your name?
Yes.
I like you so much less now.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought that, that's the thing. I realized you don't understand Harry Potter. So when I saw the restricted section, that's what I'm like, oh, Harry Potter. And maybe I'm wrong.
I figured it was like the pornography section at a bookstore.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So that shows you how out of touch you are with Harry Potter, I guess.
Or in touch I am with pornography sections.
Well, I think all pornography sections are technically in touch sections.
Okay.
So, zinger.
Zing.
We'll be back next week with the continuation of Adrian Reads Harry Potter. If you'd like to follow us through this series, hit the subscribe button below and enjoy this sweet, sweet train wreck.
Or something like that.